I'm Professor Neil Burgess. I'm the Director of the Institute of Cognitive Neuroscience at UCL. I want to understand how networks of neurons in the brain support memory, so how they enable you to remember where things are and what happened to you. If we can understand what the neurons are doing in your brain to enable you to remember stuff, then it will give us a good handle on being able to understand both how to treat it when it starts going wrong. So, for example, what the effects of drugs might be, that we know what they do to individual neurons in a dish, but we have to try and understand how they're going to affect, for example, memory loss in Alzheimer's. And there's an enormous gap between what happens to individual neurons and then behavior and memory and cognition. And I'm interested in bridging that gap because it will help us both to understand how drugs might work, but also how therapies might work, or how behavior could be affected by different manipulations. So if we know more mechanistically how you remember stuff, then we should be able to understand how different therapies or ways of thinking about things could improve memory, or perhaps help it to not decline so fast as you get old, or you get some neurological condition, or you have a traumatic incident and start having traumatic stress disorder or something like that. We managed to understand how neurons that represent where you are driven by the distances and directions of large extended environmental features or boundaries around you, and we found where those neurons are that detect distances and directions to boundaries in the brain. So that helps us to make a neural level model of at least how you can remember where things happened. And we also have been working out how neurons that represent where you are can enable you to bring together abstract long-term knowledge and form a coherent spatial image, so you can imagine, for example, what might happen in the future, or imagine in memory what happened to you yesterday when you were having lunch with your friends. And so we're managing to get to a neural level description of psychological processes.